This is awful. Nah, this is a waste. What, we're riding around on the top of a bus? That to me's now I'm getting out of here.
No, be a good sport for the first time. Stay a little bit longer.
No, I'm not staying here. I'm going home.
Oh,
this
no,
is
you're
like
not.
so stupid
No, I think
that I
you
gotta sit here on the roof of a
No,
bus.
you love it.
It's like what? So I could sit. Hey,
What?
you know, I kind of like this. Ooh, I can't get out. I can't move. I'm getting excited. Can you handcuff the other hand too? Yeah, handcuff.
Maybe I'll unlock those after.
No. Handcuff the other hand. Handcuff the other hand. Could you put on a mask?
That is so beautiful. It's so romantic.
It
that
looks
bridge.
like a bridge.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to be here with you.
Yes, and
under
it's
the
a bridge.
Let's take a
it's
picture of it.
wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, let's take a picture of it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a very good bridge.
Did you get that under? Look, there's like where it's falling down.
Let me take a picture of you. So I'll
Okay, take a picture of me looking at the bridge.
No, I'll take a picture of you thinking about the bridge. Think about the bridge.
I'll think about you.
And then in your face, I can tell there was a bridge there.
Have a good day.
You what's the matter? You can't
I have a very special tour guide with me this evening. I have Gilbert Gottfried. Have you been kicking people
Boy,
out?
they let everybody on this bus.
Give me that.
Can't believe you just let, hey, off.
How much did you make? Oh, not bad. Go on, throw some more people off.
Okay.
Go on. In case of emergency, please note the nearest emergency exits. I've always wanted to do this. And if the cabin depressurizes, an oxygen mask will automatically fall from above.
Hey, I'm trying to get some sleep here.
Yeah. And in case we land in an ocean, your seat will and can be used for a flotation device. Okay?
Look at this. I can't see a thing.
Well, then say something.
You say something.
Okay, I will. Excuse me, I don't mean to bother you, but do you mind if I sit here because, well, the guy behind me is a pervert.
Sure.
We now return to USA up all night.
I'm going blind here.
Well, you shouldn't be doing that on the bus anyway. It's disgusting. Jeez.
No one's looking.
Stuck at home and you don't know what to do. Hold on, baby, Rhonda Shear's got you. Grab your computer, log on, baby, you got the power. It's the Rhonda Shear Social Live. It's the Rhonda Shear Social Live.
Hey everyone, it's Rhonda Shear here, and welcome to 2 months and 1 week, the Rhonda Shear Social Distance Social Hour. And this is all about being social while we're in quarantine. And even if we're out of quarantine, we're going to keep doing this. Before I introduce like who's going to be on the air, a little game that we always play is when we say hair, I want you to take a sip of whatever you're drinking. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It can be anything. It's all about the hair. Cheers. I'm having a little wine. In the meantime, we have a really, really special show. I'm really, really excited about this. So 3 very special people that I've had the chance to work with in my life. The amazingly talented Gilbert Gottfried, and one of my dear friends, Linnea Quigley, who is the queen of the B films and who spent a lot of time with me back on USA Up All Night. So great people, great fun. I would like to first introduce my dear friend who is such an amazing person, such an amazing talent. I had the chance to work with him personally a few times on USA Up All Night. Yeah, I can still do it a little bit. But he is an actor, a performer, the quintessential comics comic. Every comic loves him. He's had a 40-some-odd year career. He's got his own podcast, which is amazing, where he visits old Hollywood and comics and stars of yesteryear and of today. And it's called Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal Podcast. You must get it. You must get it. It's amazing. He also just had a film that was released, which is his, basically, it's the autobiography of his life, which he didn't want to do, but it turned out to be award-winning and fascinating. and dear friend. He can do every voice on the planet. He is a complete dichotomy, which I'll talk to him about, of being hysterically funny and really naughty, and then a great father and husband. So let me welcome Gilbert Gottfried. Hey.
Hi. We'll return to Cheerleaders from Outer Space 2 on USA Up All Night after this.
Oh my gosh, you did a lot of those episodes. And you know what's really funny is with all the interviews that I see that you've done, and I've listened to a lot of different interviews, like Up All Night never comes up. And I know maybe it was not a highlight of your career, and that's fine. But you did a lot of them while you did stand up. And I know the fabulous director, Marty Bike, directed you, and he directed me for a year. And at the time, I thought he was tormenting me because he put me in crazy outfits like he did with you. But then I realized later it was like some of the best stuff I ever did. But did you enjoy those 400 and something episodes that you did of Up All Night? Because I know everyone loves you.
It was now I like hearing about it when people come up to me and say they enjoyed it. But I remember when I got a call and they said, we're not continuing it. And I said, oh, okay. Like, yeah.
Well, you had a career. That was it for me. You know, see, I used my real name and I played the bimbo character. So, you know, I was pretty much screwed. And besides that, I was over 40. I was past now I guess you could be 60 any age in Hollywood, but back then 40, you're done. But Gil, I mean, you did amazing things on that show, but your voices, your character work, your acting, your stand-up, which we're talking about, like, I don't know when we're going to get back to stand-up. And this is like my favorite thing, and I have to bring this up. You were married to the most fabulous woman, Dara Gottfried, who has really balanced your life. And you have two incredible children, Lily and Max. And I have to tell you this, I never saw this coming with you, because when you and I worked together, and a few times we actually worked together, I think we went to Nassau together one time, you loved porn, and you loved boobies, and you loved women. And I just said, this guy's never. And I know that everybody kids you about, you know, being a little bit stingy. Maybe one time before cell phones, you actually asked me for 25 cents to make a pay phone call. I mean, but you and I did both of us loved all the freebies and all the swag. And so whenever we were on location, we would get great swag. And I know you're known for that, and that's fabulous. But I am just completely amazed and so delighted that you are such a happily married man with a gorgeous, fabulous wife who balances you like my husband balances me, and then the two beautiful children. So what's it like how do you balance, how are you this dichotomy that when you get up on stage, you are so, I'll use the naughty words because I know your kids are around, but how can you go there and then be this dad who's homeschooling with your children?
It's funny. I say it in the documentary, which is called Gilbert. I don't know what the title means. But every day I'm waking up in a twilight zone. You know, where it's like, wait, what's this place I'm living in? Why, it's your home, Mr. Gottfried.
Yeah, what's it like to have, like, you know, matching furniture? And I read somewhere china and silver. What's it like to have that? And have that?
Yeah, I'm so used to, like, well, this is a chair, a wooden chair I found in the street. This is a metal chair I brought from my mother's house, and I don't remember where I found this table. I think in the basement. And the idea of furniture matching and matching silverware. You know, I'd have one thing. Yeah, I'd have a spoon from Horn and Hardhuff's.
And you're dressing. Not that you didn't dress well, but some things, you know, you're dressing much better. I'm just going to be honest with you. But I mean, Darren's just done wonderful things for you that way. But, you know, just the fact that, I guess it's being kind of an actor, that when you're on stage, and I saw you not a couple of years back at Side Splitters here in the Tampa area, I mean, you just go places that you are brilliant. I mean, I love you, and I do bow to you. You are just an amazingly brilliant comic. But then you have this now other home life with children that you can't go there with. So how do you shut that off when you get home, like from a club?
It's not easy. The funny thing is now if one of my kids says a dirty word, I can't with a straight face say, no, that word is wrong.
And your son Max, I've seen him on video. He is you. He wants to be you. You're going to have another. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do. And Lily, they're both beautiful children, and I know very bright. But I don't know what do you think of? I mean, if he did want to go, or if they wanted to go towards show business, are you both supportive of that?
It's so weird. Because it's like when I went into show business and stayed, and I kept doing it, like I was too stupid to know the odds against making it. And I was like, it was like pure idiocy I had on my side. And now show business seems like I can understand someone saying, I'm going to find soda and beer bottles in the street and I'll turn them in for 5 cents.
Right.
And that makes sense. Show business doesn't. And I feel like I would like my kids to be in show business if they never had to face any rejection.
Oh, but you know what? When you're young, and you started really young, like 15, you don't feel that. You just don't feel that rejection. You have this vim and vigor that, we look back and it's like, I can't believe I did that. And what's interesting about your career, and of course you've always had, great representation. I had, Joe Blow, on the corner as an agent. But you've had William Morris's, I don't know who you're with now, but it seems like, you like to work. So you'll do clubs and you'll do movies and you'll do voiceovers. Is there ever a time, and I'm sure you get asked to do things on your own through your life, is there ever a time that your agent said, don't do it, but you said, I'm doing it anyway?
Not sometimes. There were a couple of times I agreed with my agent. I said, oh, they must know what they're talking about. And then after a while, you realize they don't.
Right.
Yeah. It's so funny. I remember when you start out in the business, the words agent or manager sound so, oh my God, that's someone from like a mythical character. It's like, and then after a while, you find out they're like, schmucks with a desk.
I found that out years later. 2 years. And then you don't realize you hire them. They don't hire you. So at the end of the day, they're working for you. But I mean, you have had an eclectic career, more so than most actors. Like a lot of times agents will say, okay, if you're doing this, then you can't do this. But you have jumped and you've actually been panned for, the Aflac, which was an amazing commercial. And you came through that smelling like a rose. And then the roast after 9/11 for Hugh Hefner.
Yes.
You had panned for that. I mean, you can certainly elaborate that, but you came out, I mean, did your agents ever go, what are you doing? Or they just go, it's just Gil, he'll be fine. He'll bounce back.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they've said to me, no, don't do that guy's show and don't do that. And it's funny. I feel like after the whole Aflac scandal, it's like where they fired me, hired a guy to imitate me, thus bringing closure to a horrible tragedy. And I feel like, in a way, what happened in the long run is it kind of like slapped a new and improved sticker.
Right.
Yeah, it's like it might be the same old shit laundry detergent,
Bill,
but you're slapping new and improved on
new
it.
and improved, but then you always take those chances. I don't think that you can help. I think that's what makes you the comics comic. And I think that's why comics look at you and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe he went that far, but he did. And he still comes back out. But you have to have sechel. You know what that is? It's a Jewish word. I don't know if you know what that is. Dara may know what it is.
I wouldn't know about Jews.
I don't know anything either, but I just know it means smarts. So, I mean, come on. I'm sitting here drinking wine on Friday night. Hello. Cheers. Hair.
Yeah.
I love your hair.
Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Hair. Cheers. A little water. Your career just amazes me. I heard about when they did the Gilbert, the documentary, that I think his name was Neil, your producer director. He wanted to do this documentary, and you kidded with him, and you're like, your aspirations aren't very high, or whatever you said to him.
Yeah. He said, I've always dreamt about doing a Gilbert Gottfried documentary, and I said, well, you should set your dreams a lot higher than that.
And he showed up at your house, is what I read. And I think did Dara help push that into making that happen?
Yeah, I was kind of like, I really didn't want to do it. I hated when he showed up. I hated when he'd show up at gigs I was doing, and but I'm too much of a pussy to say, get away from me. And now when it's come out, and it's got great reviews.
Great, critically acclaimed. No, why would it be shocking? Like your life story, it will be a movie too. I mean, I don't know who would ever play you. Who would you want to play you? Who could? I don't know.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I like him. But here's something I never knew that you did until recently. I thought I knew a lot about you. Well, at least I knew the porn side. But I never knew that you were on Saturday Night Live after the original cast, like right after the original.
Worst time to be on Saturday Night Live. I was on it because back then it would be like if in the middle of Beatlemania, they John, Paul, George, and Ringo were gone, and there were 4 other guys, or if they recast Friends. And it's like just act like you don't notice it. And so back then it was sacrilege. Now the cast changes in between commercial breaks.
Yeah.
But back then, how dare these people?
Especially in the first year. I'm just looking to see. I know I have people that are talking and asking questions. So let me find that, or else people will be mad at me. I just love having you on. I do. I love your whole career. I don't know how you balance it all. Is there a favorite part? I mean, do you still find that performing live, is that your favorite thing, or is it movies, or is it voiceovers? I even heard that you sang, and I didn't even know about that.
When I'm backstage about to go on, my dream, my biggest fantasy is that the club owner comes backstage and goes, oh, there was a fire or a flood, and here's your check. You can go home now.
I totally get it.
Yeah.
I totally understand it. I mean, I did go through that. I mean, I did have some wonderful years. I mean, I started at a time stand-up where there wasn't many women and you couldn't do the glamorous thing. But I remember being on the road and having to beg for my check. That was about as well, or we didn't make the numbers we thought we were going to make. Can we just pay you half the amount? I'm like, no, I don't think so.
That's a funny thing too. I've gotten that a lot, where it's like we didn't do as good a business, so can we pay you less? I've never been to a club where they said, we've done better than we thought, so we want to pay you more.
right. Well, we're gonna give you this big bonus. Well, I always tease my husband about show business and being an entrepreneur now and being and owning a company, a lingerie company. But I always say, how come when I get off the air and I've just sold 300,000 units, how come people don't call me and go, wow, you're amazing, like you did so great? He goes, the check is the congratulations.
Yes.
It's the payment. No one's going to ever pat you and go, you were great. You're never going to hear that. But at least in show business, when you're a comic, you do hear the laughter. So that is your congratulations. That is, and, you know, when you get an award and now that you have a film, you know, and for all the things that you've done. It's just an amazing life. But I have to say the most amazing, but the most fabulous thing is your marriage, because I think it's like this complete full circle. This guy that I knew, and then, I mean, I didn't meet you. I wasn't cast on Up All Night till 91. I think you were there in 89. So 91 and 98. And I thought you were so amazing and so funny and so sarcastic, but so nice off the air. But I mean, the only conversation you and I ever had was about tits. That's it. It was or something lower than tits. I won't go there, but you know, that was it. And I mean, I can go right there with you. I think you did impressions of every guy that tried to sleep with me on your podcast. Podcast number 66, if you want to hear the dirtiest I've ever been on air or anywhere, is with Gil. And I was honored to be on your show. But you were just, I mean, that was your that you talked about. And then you meet the loveliest. I'm sorry, I keep going back to Dara because I'm all about strong women, and she's a strong woman, and I love that and supportive of you as my husband is. But you meet the most amazingly beautiful, smart, you know, she's protective of you, everything. And I'm just really happy about that. But and I'm just so happy to have you on. I really. So, you know, I didn't know that you sang. Can you just sing like a little something, like in like not in a Gilbert, you know, comic voice, but like something like maybe.
No. See, that is the way I sing. And on my podcast, Gilbert Gottfried's Amazing Colossal Podcast, I sang with Paul Williams, Tony Orlando, Jimmy Webb, who wrote MacArthur's Park. We sang MacArthur's Park together.
Wow.
And now a movie both of us have shown, Zapped.
Yes.
With Scott Baio and Heather Thomas.
Yes.
And Willie Ames.
Yes.
That, you know, one of those teen tits and ass comedies. And it was a terrible movie, but I always liked the music in it. and we invited on. I had on the podcast Charlie Fox, who wrote all the music to that.
Wow.
And he said the only people who know those songs are me and the people of the Philippines. In the Philippines, the songs are like you know, Strangers in the Night.
Oh my gosh! Now I have to go back and listen to that. What are some, or who are some of the, other than myself, who are some of your favorite interviews? Because how many have you done now? Have you done 1,000? I mean, you've done a lot.
Oh, a lot. Dick Van Dyke.
That
was an amazing one. Carl Reiner.
Oh, wow.
Bruce Dern was a great one.
We
had, because I was always you know, weird monster kid.
Yes.
And so we had on Janet Ann Gallo, who, if you're a weird monster kid like I am,
right,
you know, she was in the movie Ghost of Frankenstein.
Oh.
With Lon Chaney Jr. and Bela Lugosi. She was a little girl.
Oh my goodness.
And we even went further than that. We found Donnie Donegan, who was in the movie Son of Frankenstein.
Oh, geez.
With Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi, and Basil.
I love that you do that. And I love your co-host, Frank.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like you have this incredible knowledge of everybody and everything.
Yeah.
Like young comics today don't know who anybody is, but like you know all that. And he's even more so than you, I think. Like the obscure people, he knows who they are. I mean, you're a great team together. Anybody that was ever on the podcast that was completely like surprising in either a good or a bad way?
Let's see. We've well, we had from Wonderama. That was an old kiddie show, Wonderama. We had Sonny Fox, who was in his 90s.
Oh, geez.
And he was on. I was expecting some cute kids say the darndest things kind of thing. And he was talking about he served in World War II.
Wow.
And his troop were captured by the Nazis.
Oh, my
And
God.
held prisoner. And it was a fascinating story. And I thought, I never would. I was not prepared for it.
No, that's amazing. And that's what's the great thing about what you do. I love it. You find out some really interesting things when you really get deep in,
And Bruce Stern told us, because he worked on Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte.
Right.
And he was talking about, Betty Davis and Joan Crawford and Olivia de Havilland.
Did you ever meet, I met a lot of people when I first went to Hollywood, like Lucille Ball, and I worked on a Bob Hope special. I mean, is there anybody that you ever worked with? Because I know you did the Tonight Show. Did you ever do it with Johnny? Were you ever on?
No, never with Johnny. I did it with Jay Leno a lot.
Many times. But is there anybody that you got to work with other than your podcast, like in an acting world, that you were like really not starstruck, but like was really exciting to you? That was
I met Jerry Lewis a couple of times,
Yeah.
and that was like, I remember standing there going, this can't be real life that I'm sitting next to Jerry Lewis.
But he had to have been complimentary to you, although he could be kind of a gruff guy, from what I hear.
Jerry Lewis is one of those people, I can use that classic line, well, he was always nice to me.
Yeah. I would think that even back then, you would have been a threat. Some of those comics, some of those old timers were really jealous of the up and comers. Like, I kidded with you that I think I had Jackie Mason was on. I mean, we did get some interesting people on Up All Night through the years. And but some of those guys were very jealous, and the new comics were horrible. And it's a different world now in the world of stand up. But so you think you're going to be back out there on the road, hopefully visiting us in Florida, because the clubs are open down here, Gil.
Oh, geez. I can't believe they've stayed open.
No, they didn't stay. I think they just opened last night, literally.
Okay.
Universal's open, Disney's open, and comedy clubs are open. I just don't know. I just think, I know when you do, you're expressive. There's going to be, I know you don't have anything, but, saliva goes into the audience. And then they're laughing and saliva goes back at you. And I don't know, I know you're like me. We're both a little bit of a hypochondriac. I'm a little nervous about that much saliva going back and forth right now. And I don't know how funny it is for you, of all people, to wear a mask on stage.
That would kind of like, we came here to actually see him, and now we're seeing half of him.
Well, I just want to thank you for being on. We have one of the gals that we both hosted many times, Linnea Quigley, coming up.
Yes.
Who did every movie. Did you actually watch the movies, Gil? Did you actually watch the films?
It would depend if it's something I wanted to watch. I usually didn't. I have to say, I'm on, I think, are you on it too on Cameo?
Oh, no, but I'm so glad you brought that up, because I read that about you. No, but
I'm on Cameo.
Yes, it's so cool. Tell everybody.
You could get a personalized video shout out from me,
which is great for all the seniors right now. Would be so great.
Yes. And so you go to cameo.com/Gilbert Gottfried, cameo.com Facebook.com/Gilbert Gottfried.
And we'll continue to put that up too. So, you know, this is what's amazing about you. My last thing is that you do all this stuff and your agents let you do it all. You do it all. You do everything. I love that. Do you have any other merchandise? Are you selling any merchandise?
Yeah.
What are you selling? So we can talk about that real quick.
You could look on Gilbert Gottfried. Gilbert, I forget my own name.
I know, I get it.
GilbertGottfried.com.
And what are you selling?
There are T-shirts, my book, DVDs. In fact, you can even get one of those masks that everyone's wearing now with my face on it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the proceeds go to this charity, I think MedShare.
That's great. That's really awesome. We're doing masks too. That's really, really cool. And where do we find your film? Where do we find your documentary? Where do we download that?
I think that's on Hulu.
I
have to ask my wife if it's on Hulu. Amazon and iTunes and Hulu.
You can be found, Gilbert. You can be found. And I love that about you. And please, you know, I've got my husband over there laughing hysterically. He almost choked to death listening to you. But I thank you, Gilbert. I think we just lost Gil, but thank you if you're still on. Thank you, Dara and the kids. And hopefully he'll come back on and see us. That was my dear friend and definitely a peer that I enjoyed working with, who's just truly the most brilliant comic working, Gilbert Gottfried. And you can learn more about Gilbert. Go to GilbertGottfried.com, and we'll give you some more links to Gilbert in a second. And I think we're going to be back right after this little break with the Rhonda Shear Social Distance Social Hour. Hair. We'll be right back. It's Rhonda Shear. Remember me from USA Up All Night? I know I got you through puberty. Admit it. Well, guess what? Now you can find me on cameo.com/Rhonda Shear. You can book me and I will send you your own private video message. You're going to love it. Or you can send it to anyone you would like. I would love to do that for you. So check me out at cameo.com/Rhonda Shear. And remember, from the keeper of the sizzle kiss, if it's Rhonda, it's up all night. Nighty-night from your bedtime buddy. Woo!
Just when you thought this was the big fish in the sea, Burger King brings back the Whaler. A crispy golden fish fillet. Tender, all-white meat, topped with creamy tartar sauce. The Whaler, so big, so tempting, so... The Whaler doesn't get swallowed up by the bun like some others do.
You know who, yes, you know who.
Aren't you hungry for the Burger King Whaler now?
Yes.
Okay, speakers are 100%.
I hear you.
Jeff, how do I do the volume? Okay, one second.
Okay.
Jeff? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, my God.
Amazing.
Oh, you heard me yelling.
No, that's okay.
Good.
We love yelling. You're known as a scream queen. If you can't yell, then that would suck. So can you hear me?
Suck. That would.
Okay.
Yes.
So Linnea, your career is amazing and you're still doing films. You're back in, I know you lived in Florida for a little bit. It wasn't your gig. You're back in Los Angeles.
No.
What are you working on right now?
Yes.
It's okay.
Just finished. Okay. I finished Buzz Cut, which was in New Zealand, which was really fun. I did, I'm doing Psycho Babes and the Psycho Film Fiasco. My dog is barking. I'm doing something else called Buzz, not Buzz Cut, but another one called Buzz. And then another one that is called Jasper, which is a serial killer thing.
So how do you have a count of how many films that you've done in your career? How many different, I know we can all go to your, you don't. We have to go to your page and look you up. Yeah, we have to look it up.
I don't know. I don't count anymore, but I used to.
So, you know, it's so funny. we're gonna get to you and also the rescue and all the things that you do, because you're another amazing, strong woman, and you always have been. And you look the same. So now my dogs are gonna bark. But anyway, you look the same as you did years ago. Hey, girls, it's okay. It's Linnea.
Thank you.
Chill. So I mean, you really
They hear
don't
my
change.
dog.
You've got this little tiny figure. You've always had this little tiny, petite figure, and the fans love you, Linnea. I mean, I still get so much fan mail from Up All Night, and I still get, everybody wants to talk about Linnea Quigley. So, I mean, you still have a, yes, they do. So how do you stay in touch with your fans? Are you on a website, Facebook? How do they reach out to you?
Probably the best way is Facebook, which is the official Linnea Quigley Facebook. Stop it, Zena. She's like she wants to be the center of attention now, right? So probably the official Linnea Quigley Facebook is the best way.
Okay.
And that's got my website.
And then you do a lot of the conventions, right? You stay out there during the conventions and stuff. And how many of those you think you do a year?
Probably about 10 to 12.
Wow.
About 10 to 12.
That's amazing.
You've got to come to some of those. We did one before on Halloween.
I know. I should do that. I need to do something.
You should.
I need to do something. You have to tell them that I'll come. You have to,
I will. I'll say I won't go without one.
I think I'm a forgotten person. I'm a panty queen now. It's okay. It's all good.
No. You're not forgotten, because everybody goes, I like Rhonda better than Gilbert.
Oh my goodness. Don't say that. Now, did you see Gilbert on earlier?
No, I missed it.
Okay, so here's the thing about Gilbert. Gilbert's cerebral and funny. If they liked me, it was for the boobies and the hair. But it was fun. It was and you were, I think, our number one guest. You literally were on almost as many Up All Nights as I was.
You're kidding me.
You did. I mean, now when the show moved to New York in '96, so it changed the feeling of it from '96 to '98. But from '91 to '96, you were a regular guest, and we did some crazy things. We really did, and crazy outfits.
I know. We ruled the internet, or not the internet, but we ruled it.
We did, and you know what? If people want to watch, my team, my producers, which is Ken and that are producing from behind the scenes, they've downloaded many of the episodes. So if you want Rhonda Shear's YouTube channel, you can see a lot of the shows that Linnea and I did, along with a lot of the things that Gilbert and I did, and even Tracy Bingham and Pictionary. So you can check that out. But so I mean, what are you doing? Are you staying close to home? Are you not getting out right now? Are you staying in? Are you afraid to go out?
I'm staying close to home.
You are.
I'm not afraid to go out, because no, I'm not. You're not. But I like being at home. I like that. It's fun because I have all these dogs. That makes it. I have to be home.
Well, being home is good. I mean, again, this has made a lot of us kind of just pause and have to be home. And I think appreciative of all the things that home has to give us. So hopefully other people are finding that joy as well. But I do want to talk to you. And I think Tracy Bingham was also, she is in PETA. I forgot to bring that up to her. I'll have to have everybody back on. But you are a member of PETA? Tell us about your animal activism, because you've been doing that as long as I know you.
Yeah, I am involved with animal activism. I'm a vegan. I know people say vegan, but I say vegan because I'm different, I guess. And I support rescuing and adopting and all that stuff. And the main thing is I bought a place on an acre so I could have animals.
Wow.
And I have about 14 dogs and cats that I rescued. So it's pretty cool. I've got the dog here.
So do you do this by yourself, Linnea?
It's a lot of work. That's why
It is a lot of work. I mean, having
Well,
5
I
dogs.
have somebody that flew out. Oh,
So
you have
I mean,
pups, right?
yeah, I mean, I have Chihuahuas, but I mean, they're all, I mean, and I have rescues, and then I did buy a couple of them, but it's almost like sometimes when you rescue a dog that's bred, it's almost like rescuing them because, they don't get as much love too when they're, when they're brought up and, to be bred. But tell me, so do you adopt them out then? You rescue them, then adopt them? Or
But sometimes I get so attached to them that I don't know myself a sanctuary or a rescue or what, because I get so attached. And then they get attached to me. So I'm like, that's my excuse. They're attached to me, so I can't let them go.
You know what? I would
So
be the
it's
same
hard.
way.
It's really hard.
It's really hard. Like I had a gal on last week that, she runs a rescue, and I asked her, and she does adopt them out. I'm thinking, Van and I have always kidded that we want a Chihuahua farm, and we'd have like hundreds of Chihuahuas running around. I truly think
Yes.
I don't know how to give them up. I just don't, especially when you have rehabilitated them and you've gotten them back. Now, it's expensive. So how do you do that? I mean, it's pricey to do that, to get them all to the vet.
Oh, it is. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Cause I have like a dog that has a mask. The Doberman has a mask. I've got 3 spay neuters, and I have a GoFundMe out right now. I'm going to get a Facebook for my place, Moulin Rouge, which is the dancing dogs. It's a happy place. So I have a GoFundMe up on my thing, so people can donate, which helps a lot.
No, and where do we find that? Is that,
as you know, big dogs? Oh, that's on. If you go to the original Linnea Quigley Facebook, you'll find the website and the GoFundMe and all that stuff.
All right, because we're
tarot card reading.
We're gonna all do that. So okay, so when you're on location, how do you, in New Zealand or wherever you are, who takes care of the dogs when you're out of town?
Oh my gosh. Well, I've got this girl, Sierra, that comes in, and she's a country girl. She's got 19 dogs and some like goats and chickens and horses. And she's like tough. She's only like 19, but she's tough, but she's good with animals. And I trust her. I've had some people that were horrible.
I know. Oh, horrible. No, I know. And you really have to have trust with your babies.
Yeah. Really. The what?
I was going to say, because your babies are probably on medication, because they're all, I'm sure there's a lot of medicine involved right now.
Yes. And I'm on medicine too from it.
Well, I don't know if you're having a glass of wine, but the hair looks great.
Oh, the air looked amazing. I forgot my drink in the car when I ran in the studio. I'm like, oh my God. But I'm drinking airheads. We are not airheads. They don't know that.
No.
But they can think.
So what's really cool is we can probably look at all of Linnea Quigley's films easily by finding them on Hulu or wherever. Where are most of your films? Where can we download most of your films? Do you know?
Oh, okay, you can get them on Tubi. Tubi's a really good place to find a lot of my films. TUBI, Tubi. It's free.
I saw that.
It's free place.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And it's a really
because once you become addicted to Linnea Quigley and her films, I mean, and it's funny because Gilbert was saying that he's a monster film lover, and it's amazing that you did all these films. I am scared to death. I could never watch bloody films, but what I hear now is that the blood. No, I could never. I mean, I was in a few, but I couldn't do it. But what I heard is that nowadays a lot of the special effects are done after the film. Now, are you still doing the horror films where you have to put blood in your mouth and you really that stuff tastes
sometimes?
Like,
yeah. Yes. Last year I did this film, The Best Laid Plan. No, not The Best Laid Plans. Something about the devil. I can't even remember it. But I had to lay in blood in a cold in South Carolina when it was freezing for like hours, and it was horrible. It was like, and then they drenched me when it's cold, and that feels awful, as you know. It's like,
I know.
I hate it.
I remember those are the horror films. Yeah, people don't realize that because like a scene will go by like that, and they don't realize that sometimes a scene that's like a couple of seconds long, that it takes like hours to do that scene, and you're sitting there and it's cold, miserable. But I am so glad that you're back in it and like you're doing what you love to do. It's fabulous.
It's amazing, and a lot of people around this area, the Rosados or Picasso's Rosados, donated a bunch to the place, and they love horror films, and people think that horror film people are not nice, and they're amazing. They love animals.
Well, they are. I mean, the conventions I've been to, they're amazing. They're salt of the earth. The fans are so sweet. They're so dedicated. Yeah. They follow you. I mean, I still get fan mail from Up All Night, which just, I love it. I mean, people are still writing and remembering their things. Yeah. And so, you know, they stick with you a lifetime. And I'm always asked about you. They really are the like really, really nice people. And I think horror films are, and I forgot to bring this up with Gilbert too, but I find that there's a whole new generation of young people who grew up watching Up All Night, but now these people are now producing these films, and they love them. Yeah. I mean, it's a whole new generation that's come out that, you know, that literally they were kids, you know, they were watching films, and now they were, and now they're back, and this was just very easy. I won't say mindless, but easy to watch, fun films. And, you know, I'd love to stick my toe in it. Okay, who are you looking at? I've got two underneath me right now.
The dog is like, the dog is like going on this, I'm like making sure it's not ripping up something. I am so sorry. I was no.
I've literally got three. I've got two in a bed right now, and then I've got these little cat caves where my other ones go. If they hear my voice, they're very quiet. But if they weren't like in here next to me, they'd be flipping out. So
really? Now, do they sleep with you? They sleep with you, right?
Yes, all five of them sleep with Van and I. So Van and I have no sex life.
Of course not. Of course not.
And you know, if Van tries to hold my hand,
I'm single. It's like I love it.
No, but if Van tries to hold my hand, they're so jealous. I mean, the smallest one tries to bite him. He's like, gosh. I mean, they're very jealous, but they love their daddy too. They love their daddy, and you know, especially right now in a shutdown and a quarantine, they bring great joy to us. So that part has been fantastic. You know, they're just great. They make you happy, as you know. I mean, you can't just have one. I think if you're a true animal lover, you've got to have many. Marie, one of my producers, she's got two right now, and there's no doubt that, you know, if you're an animal lover, they're in your heart. It's kind of like show business, and I do find that many people in our industry definitely love animals because we don't have time. We don't have time for relationships somehow.
My God, no! And they just get in the way, and you know, it's horrible. It's horrible.
No, it's like, you know,
I'm going to be filmed for the reality show, which is going to be neat, that I have on dragonflix.net .biz, and we're going to do all the things about the rescue and about animal training, and you know how it's important because you can rehabilitate a dog that might end up in the shelter if they have bad, you know, attitudes about things.
Right. You know what? That's great because you know, I've worked with a few rescues. A few of them. And I just did I was a chair of an SPCA event here recently. And so many of these rescues, and it's not that they want to put them down, but it's usually dogs with behavioral, I know, but they end up getting put down. I mean, or if it's past the point, and it's so sad. But, you know, we also have a gal in town who does Chihuahua rescues, and she takes them at all stages and ages. And it's amazing. She gets them all adopted, you know, ones who are very sick. I adopted one that was 11 years old, and she had been severely abused. We worked. We had her operated on. We got 2 more years out of her, and She was a mean dog, man. She had been abused and kicked, but we got love. We got, she loved me. She loved Van, but she would sit there, just guard. She was just scared. So what's really horrible to say, but you probably feel this, is that I can't watch people abusing animals like that. That just kills me because they have no voice. We have voices. We can get out there and have a voice. These poor animals are helpless, and it just so that's another thing. Is if I've gotten older, that's become a huge cause for me as well.
I know. I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
I love it. Right.
And I have so many friends.
So
yeah, I mean, Tracy, I know that she is. My friend Terry Groves from LA. All of us. I mean, and I didn't have animals till I was later in life, till I married Van, because my mom was really afraid of animals. So I didn't have animals growing up, and now I just can't imagine. I can't imagine life without having them all around. They're just fabulous.
So how is Terry Groves and Waleed?
Well, oh my gosh, you're good, girl. Waleed, I haven't talked to him.
I don't remember much, but I remember that.
No, Terry's great. I mean, right now she's not working because of what's going on. She's a fabulous hair and makeup person. We'll have to have Terry Groves on, and a dear friend of mine. And Waleed was a fabulous hairdresser that created all my crazy hairdos and did everybody's hair and makeup. They both did hair and makeup up all night. But Waleed was doing, married, has like about 5 kids, was doing really well last I spoke to him. Bought a lot of property, so started doing well in real estate. And Terry's got a beautiful home in the valley, and she rents out a room or two. So doing well, except I think everybody's frustrated not to be working. How are you, Angela? I mean, what's going on out there since people can't physically work together? What is that like? Is there still auditions? I mean, what's going on? Is it just shut down?
I'm not really. There's a lot of online schools, like classes that people are doing, and they're waiting for something to happen.
Right.
But that's the worst, because that's what our life is, waiting for something to happen.
Right. And from what I understand, Jason just said that he so loved Up All Night back in the day on USA Network. Thank you, Jason. I haven't been able to see my monitor, and that's why I'm missing some of you guys. You both on TV. Well, you can do
anything either.
We have to go to the Facebook page and look at it, but I appreciate all the comments. And you guys, Michael says he really misses Up All Night. Well, you can definitely visit Linnea on her Facebook page, and you can visit me on YouTube, and then we have this show every Saturday night. And just like on Up All Night, we're going to make Linnea a regular, because she was a regular in my good luck charm on Up All Night, so we have to have her on. Especially when your films come out, we have to have you back on. And I thank you for, we had Linnea on last week. Last week you were supposed to be, we had horrible technical problems. And I thank you all for tuning in last week. And hopefully we're working through that. I hear even the Tonight Show and all these shows that are online have technical problems, but we're doing the best we can. And they'll all get better. So, but I want to thank you, Linnea. I'm going to sign off for now, but will you please come join me again?
Okay.
Will you? I love you.
I will.
Okay, go to Linnea Quigley. Yes, go see her, fund her for her dogs. We're going to wait for your films. And then when they come out, we definitely want to promote you some more. And I love you, girl. You've always been a good luck charm to me.
I love you too, Rhonda.
Good night, baby.
Hair. Take a drink. Woo! For my drink, I forgot in the car.
It's okay. Well, cheers to you.
See you guys.
You guys, thank you. Wow, what a great night. I know we ran a little long. I'm sorry. We had a little bit more problems with Miss Linnea freezing a little bit, but we could hear her well. And it's just fabulous. I want to thank Gilbert Gottfried. I want to thank Linnea Quigley. We want to thank Tracy Bingham. We've got a great show lined up for you next week. We'll have more surprises. Every week it's going to just get better and better. So please spread the word around. It's on Rhonda Shear's fan page. And let us know if you're seeing it. Let us know if there's any problems. You can also, find me on Rhonda Shear Twitter and Rhonda Shear on Instagram. Let us know what you're feeling, and we certainly want to, hear from you. In the meantime, I'm going to sign off, just like I used to do on Up All Night in honor of Gil and Linnea and Tracy, and I'm going to say love and sizzle kisses. Nighty night. I thank you guys for watching the Rhonda Shear Social Distance Social Hour. We'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Stuck in quarantine, don't know what to do. Hold on, baby, Rhonda, she's got you. Grab your computer, log on, baby, you got the power. It's the social distancing social life. The social distancing social life.
It's Rhonda Shear. Remember me from USA? Up all night. I know I got you through puberty. Admit it. Well, guess what? Now you can find me on cameo.com/Rhonda Shear. You can book me and I will send you your own private video message. You're going to love it. Or you can send it to anyone you would like. I would love to do that for you. So check me out at cameo.com/Rhonda Shear. And remember, from the keeper of the sizzle kiss, if it's Rhonda, it's up all night. Nighty night from your bedtime buddy. Ooh.
Hey, my best shot in years and nobody noticed.
Because they can't see you anymore.
Freddie Brent, 5 feet 8, 180 pounds.
175.
Come with us.
You mean it? Oh, no. I just bought a house. Yeah, my kid wants to be a doctor.
But you do have Prudential Life Insurance. That'll help.
Nothing gives you peace of mind like a piece of the rock. For your peace of mind, call a Prudential agent and
Get a piece of the rock.
I could get another piece of the rock tomorrow.
There are no more tomorrows.
Prudential.
To turn World War II into a great home video game, you need B-17 bomber and IntelliVoice.
Bed, 12 o'clock.
Filled with the sounds of battle.
Good shot.
Never in the history of video games have so so much great gameplay to so few. B-17 bomber and IntelliVoice from Mattel Electronics.
Now get a free IntelliVoice module by mail when you buy any Intellivision Master component.
Stuck at home and you don't know what to do. Hold on, baby, Rhonda, she's got you. Grab your computer, log on, baby, you got the power. It's the Rhonda Shear Social Life. It's the